Hello everyone, this is Al, Red Sox fan, and we're back with our one and done 8-team tournament, the final game in the first round, and that will pit the 2017 Chicago Cubs versus the 1970s decade team of the Dodgers. Again, the marathon continues. This is our fourth game, game four of round one. It's the final game. We will be advancing to round two after this. And this is Al Red Sox fan. You're watching on Al Red Sox fan YouTube station, so sit back and enjoy. Let's get to the lineups and the ball game for the visiting 1970s decade Dodger team created by a fan in the Strat-O-Matic forum. We have Davey Lopes leading off, playing second base. He'll be followed by the left fielder Lee Lacy. Batting third, playing first base, Steve Garvey. The cleanup hitter, former Red Sox on the Impossible Dream team, Reggie Smith, and he is playing right field. Batting fifth, the Penguin, Ron Cey, playing third base. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Willie Davis. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Bill Russell. Not Bill Russell, who played for the Celtics. Come on, people. Batting eighth, doing the catching, Steve Yeager. And batting ninth, on the hill, Don Sutton. Sutton's career average in 162 games, as these teams were made with the all-time free agent file for Strat-O-Matic Baseball, 16 and 13, earned run average 3.26, 177 strikeouts. On the hill for the Chicago Cubbies of 2017, former Red Sox John Lester, he was 13 and 8, 4.33 earned run average, striking out 180. Behind the plate, doing the catching is Contreras. Rizzo was at first. Zobrist is at second. Russell is at short, and Bryant is at third. Schwaber is in left. He has a 0 arm. Jay's in center. He has a +1 arm. And Howard's in right. He has a -4 arm. Davey Lopes will lead off for the Dodgers. Lopes needs a 2-5 column. And Lopes, yearly career average 263, 14 homers. Lester picks up the sign from Contreras. Here's the pitch to Davey Lopes. Is a 2, very good for Lopes, and a 5, and that will be a single to center. So Lopes starts off the game right. Man, he is definitely a base running threat. 95% chance of stealing, and we're going to send him. 1 through 19 is safe. He has a 39% chance to get the proper lead. Here's the attempted seal. Lester looks Lopes back, so Lester, the lefty, does his job with Rizzo and keeps Lopes at bay. And it's still a 65% chance of stealing, but we will call it off. And Lee Lacy steps to the plate. Corners move in. Lacy, an excellent bunter. Why is that so big? Bryant in at third, Rizzo in at first. Let's just check out the hit and run for a moment. 250. Pull that off. Lacy, 286. 7 home runs is his yearly career average. We're going to let Lacy swing away. Here's the pitch to Lacy, looking for the 2-5 column. It's a 5. This is good for Lacy. Not a good column for Lester. And a 7, and Lacy works a walk. So the first 2 runners are on. First and second, no outs. Number 3 batter, the first baseman, Steve Garvey, 294 with 21 home runs. punch one out of Wrigley Field and give the Dodgers of the 70s a 3-0 lead. Lester has to bear down here. Gets the sign from Contreras. Here's the pitch to Garvey, looking for the 1-5 column. It's a 1. Oh boy, big opportunity here for Garvey and the Dodgers. It's an 8 and a 12, and that's a line drive to Russell. Makes the leaping catch. Lopes quickly dives back to second base. Ugh. Nice play by Russell for the Cubs at short. So 1 out, 2 on for the cleanup hitter, Reggie Smith. Smith 287, 24 home runs. The switch hitter will be batting righty off the left-handed throwing Lester. Lester kicks and deals. Smith looking for the 3-2 column. It is a 6. Smith needs a 2, 3, 7, 8, 12. He gets a 6. Strike 3 looking, so Lester battles back. After the first 2 runners get on via the single and walk, a hard-hit line out to Russell and the strikeout to Smith. And that will bring the number 5 batter, Ron Cey, the Penguin, to the plate. 2 outs, 2 on. Runners will be off on contact. Here's the pitch to Cey, looking for the 2-5 column. It's a 6. Again, he needs a 2, 3, 7, 8, 12, and it's a 4. This will be a fly ball. Out to center to Jay. And anything 6 and under is good for Cey on the first dice roll. 20-sided dice roll is a 15. That's an F2. And a 10 on the second, 1 through 18. So Jay should make this play. He's under it, and he'll make the catch out number 3. So the Dodgers put the first 2 runners on, but fail to score. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. 2 up for the Cubs, Jay, Bryant, and Rizzo. Actually, we got to go through their batting order. So leading off, playing center field, is John Jay. Batting second, playing third base, is Chris Bryant. Batting third, the former Red Sox farmhand, Anthony Rizzo. Batting fourth, the former Tampa Bay Ray, Ben Zobrist. Batting fifth, playing left field, Kyle Schwarber. Batting sixth, doing the catching, Wilson Contreras. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Jason Hayward. Batting eighth, the shortstop who made that wonderful catch, Addison Russell. And batting ninth on the hill, John Lester. As we know, 13 and 8, 4.33 earned run average. On the mound for the Dodgers, Don Sutton, 16 and 13, 3.26. Doing the catching is Yeager. At first, Garvey. Second, Lopes. At short, Russell. At third base is Ron Cey. In left, Lee Lacy is a -1 arm. Davis is in center, -1 arm. And Reggie Smith in right with a -3 arm. So John Jay steps to the plate and he'll face Don Sutton. Here's a pitch from Sutton. Jay looking for the 2-6 column. And he gets the 6. He needs a 5, 6, 8, 9. He gets a 4. That'll be a ground ball to the Penguin, Ron Cey. Here's a 20-sided dice roll. And that's going to be a single as it's a 1 and an 8. So Cey will not make the play. It'll be a leadoff single for Jay. Diving attempt for not. Garvey holding Jay on at first, and here's Chris Bryant. Bryant batted .295 last year with 29 home runs. Here's the pitch from Sutton. He needs a 3-6. He gets a 4. 2, 5, 6, and 12 are good for Bryant. It's an 8, and that will be strike 3 looking. 1 out, 1 on. And here comes Anthony Rizzo, power hitting first baseman for the Cubs, who batted .273 and 32 ground trippers last year for the Cubbies. Sutton deals to Rizzo, looking for the 3-6 column. It's a 4. Again, 2, 5, 6, 12. And it's a 4. That'll be a fly ball to center for Davis. And he's pretty sure-handed. Nothing bad on the first dice roll. That's a 17 and a 12 on the 18. sided dice roll. And Davis will make the play in center. Jay retreats back to first. So 2 outs. Runner at first. Jay will be off on contact. And that brings up Ben Zobrist, the former Tampa Bay Ray, batted .232 with 12 homers for the Cubbies in 2017. Switch hitter batting lefty off the right-hand throw, Don Sutton. Sutton gets the sign from Yeager. He kicks and fires, and it's a 1. This is very good for Zobrist. Again, a 10. It's a 12, and that will be a line out. Lopes makes the leaping catch. 9 or under would have been a hit, but that's a line out. Out number 3. We go to the top of the second, scoreless here in Wrigley. Due up to face John Lester and the Cubbies, Davis, Russell, and Yeager. Willie Davis, .279 with 13 homers. Left-handed batting center fielder. Lester's ready to work. He deals to Davis, looking for the 2-5 column. It's a 4. He needs an 8. And he gets a 5. And that would be swing and a miss, strike 3, and 1 down. That brings up the Dodgers shortstop Bill Russell, no relation to Addison Russell, who plays short for the Cubbies. Russell, .263, 4 homers. Lefty-righty matchup. Contreras sets the target. Here's the pitch to Russell, looking for the 1-5. He gets a 6. He needs a 2, 3, 7, 8, 12. He gets a 9. That'll be a ground ball to Russell. And the first 20-sided dice roll, nothing bad there. That's a 3G2 number sign. So it might be a range play in a 7. I think Russell will get this ball. That ball goes to the left side. Russell backhands it and throws to Rizzo for out number 2. Nice play by Russell. He covered a lot of ground. So 2 up, 2 down. Here comes the number 8 batter, the catcher Steve Yeager, .228 with 9 homers. Lester works quickly to Yeager, looking for the 2-5 column. It's a 5 and an 8, and that'll be a ground ball to Zobrist. Yeager needs a 4 or under. He gets a 9. That's a G3 and a 12. So Zobrist will gobble it up and throw to Rizzo. Side retired. We go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here at Wrigley. Due up for the 2017 Cubs, Schwarber, Contreras, and Hayward to face Don Sutton. Schwarber, 211, 30 home runs. So when he hit it, he hit it. Here's the pitch to the power hitter. Needing a 2-6, it's a 4, 2, 5, 6, and 12 are good. It's an 11. This will be a fly ball to left. And Lacey, not the most surest-handed left fielder. 6 or under will be a hit on the 20-sided dice roll. And it's a 3. This will be a double and a 2-base error. So Schwarber hits the ball. Lacey cannot get to it. It gets down into the corner. He fumbles with it. And Schwarber scores. It's 1-0. So the double, the fumbling of the ball in the corner, and the bad throw into the cutoff man. And the Cubs, just like that, are on the board. 1-0. So Don Sutton and Dodgers have to regroup now as they trail by 1. Here's Wilson Contreras, the catcher, .276, 21 homers. Yeager wiggles the fingers. Here's the pitch from Sutton. It's a 1. And Contreras needs an 8. And he gets the 8. That's the only good thing. He gets the walk. Unbelievable. When things go your way, things go your way. So Contreras is on first, no outs. And the number 7 batter, the right fielder, Jason Hayward, .259 with 11 home runs. Russell and Lopes hope to turn 2 for the Dodgers. Here's the pitch to Hayward, looking for the 2-6 column. It's a 3. He needs a 6-7 for the walk. He gets an 8. That's a ground ball back to the pitcher. I think they'll get the force out at second, and that will be it. The throw to first is not in time. So that went Sutton to Russell. So 1 out, 1 on, 1-0 Dodgers, Cubs, bottom of the second. Here's the pitch to Addison Russell, looking for the 2-6. He gets the 6. He needs a 5, 6, 8, 9. He gets a 5, and that's also good. That's a single to center. Hayward holds up at second. So 1 out, 2 on for the pitcher, John Lester. Corners in. They expect the bunt. Here's the pitch to Lester. He's swinging away. It's a 1. He needs a 9. He gets a 7. This will be a double play ball. Russell to Lopes to Garvey, inning over. Top of the third, 1-0 Cubs, thanks to a double and a two-base error by Lacey in left. 2 up to face John Lester. Sutton in the top of the order, Lopes and Lacey. Here's the pitch to Sutton, Lester's counterpart. It's a 6. Not bad. He has a chance here. He needs a 2, 3, 7, 8, 12. He gets a 9. It'll be a ground ball to Russell. Again, Russell sure-handed at short for the Cubs. 20-sided dice roll. 3G2 number sign and a 16. He should make this play. Going up the middle, Russell snares it, throws to Rizzo. Rizzo scoops it out of the dirt, one away. Nice play all the way around. Top of the order, Davey Lopes is 1 for 1. He singled in the first and was stranded at second. Here's the pitch to Lopes. It's a 4. He needs a 6, 8, 10. He gets a 7. And that will be another strikeout for John Lester as Lopes goes down looking. Lee Lacey steps to the plate. He fumbled that ball, the double down the line by Schwerber, who came around to score. Not only did he kick the ball around, but he made a bad throw to the cutoff man. He walked his first time up. Here's the pitch to Lacey, looking to make amends. And it's a 5. This is good for Lee Lacey. And a 10. But unfortunately, he doesn't find the right number. This ball will be for the catcher. 20-sided dice roll for Contreras. It is an 18G3, so it will be a number in front of the plate. Contreras jumps on it and throws to Rizzo for out number 3. Inning over. Top of the inning over. We go to the bottom of the third. Don Sutton will face the top of the Cubs order. Jay, Bryant, and Rizzo. Jay is 1 for 1. Sutton gets the sign. Here's the pitch to John Jay. It's a 4. Jay needs a 2, 5, 6, 12. He gets a 10. Ground ball to Bill Russell at short. And that is an 8G3 number sign. Will he make the play? We shall see. Russell deep in the hole. He backhands it. Strong throw to Garvey, and they just nip Jay running from the left-handed batter's box. 1 down. And that will bring up Cubs third baseman Chris Bryant. Bryant's 0 for 1. Sutton kicks and deals. That's a 5. Bryant needs a 2, 4, 10, 11. He gets a 4 possible single. It's a 7, and that's going to be a single up the middle past the dive of Davey Lopes. A 1-out single for Chris Bryant. That brings up the power-hitting first baseman, left-handed bat, Anthony Rizzo. He is 0 for 1. Sutton takes a peek at Bryant. Garvey holding him on. Here's the pitch to Anthony. It's a 3. Very good for Rizzo. And a 12. And that's going to be a single to right past the dive of Garvey. And Bryant thinks better of running on Reggie Smith. He holds up at second. So 1 out, 2 on. Cubs threatening for more runs. And Ben Zobrist comes to the plate, the cleanup hitter. Zobrist is 0 for 1. Sutton hopes to induce a double play ball and get out of the inning. Yeager sets the target. Here's the pitch to Zobrist. It's a 4. Not a good column on the Sutton card. And a 5. Possible triple. It's a 7. That ball is driven to left field. Lacey makes the running catch for out number 2. Bryant retreats back to second. So it's up to Kyle Schwarber, who doubled and scored on the error by Lee Lacey. Thus the Cubs 1-0 lead. Cubs fans chanting, "We want to hit here at Wrigley." Sutton deals to Schwarber. It's a 2. This is a good Schwarber column. And an 8. Possible home run. And guess what Kyle Schwarber just did? He has driven that ball to right center field, and that is gone. The Cubs take a 4-0 lead as Schwarber touches the ball. Greeting him at the plate, Bryant and Rizzo. And back to the dugout they go. Happy campers. Cubs up 4-0, 2 outs. Dodgers get bullpen action up. And here's Wilson Contreras. The catcher walked his first time up. Here's the pitch to Wilson, looking for the 2-6. He gets a 5. Not bad. He needs a 2, 4, 10, 11. He gets a 5, and that is a swing and a miss, strike 3. But the Dodgers strike for 3 once again. Kyle Schwarber. This time, he doesn't need an error to score. He does it all on his own as he jacks a 3-run homer off Don Sutton. We go to the top of the fourth. The 2017 Cubs 4. The 1970s Dodger decade team, nothing. Due up for the Dodgers to face John Lester, Garvey, Smith, and Say. You're watching Al Red Sox Fan on Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel, and this is our 8-team, one-and-done marathon tournament. This is the last game of round 1. The other 3 games are on the channel. Here's the pitch to Garvey. He's 0 for 1. It's a 5. This is good for Garvey. And a 5 possible home run. It's a 19. And it's going to hit the top of the wall, and Garvey will have a leadoff double. He just missed a homer. Good start for the Dodgers this inning. Now bring up Reggie Smith. He is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time against Lester when the Dodgers stranded 2 runners in the first inning. Lester peeks over his shoulder at Garvey, now picks up the sign by Contreras. Here's the pitch to Reggie Smith. This is a 6. Smith needs a 2, 3, 7, 8, 12. He gets a 7, possible double. It's an 11. It's going to be a double as Schwarber dives, can't get to it. It's going to roll by him. Garvey will score, and the Dodgers are on the board. It's now 4 to 1. And that will bring up the Penguin, Ron Say. Say had 25 home runs he averaged for 162 games over his career. Say's 0 for 1. Lester, 57 pitches, good for 103. Here's the pitch to the Penguin, and he gets a 4. Say needs a 6, 8, 10. He gets a 5. That will be a fly ball to JJ. Will handle it. That'll be out number 2. So 1 out. Smith at second. Good base runner, 1 through 14. And that'll bring up Willie Davis. Dodgers center fielder is 0 for 1. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Davis digs in. Lester nods. The windup and the pitch. It's a 1. Davis needs a 2, 4. He gets an 11. Ground ball to Zobrist, who flips to Rizzo for the out. That's the second out. Smith advances to third. So Russell comes to play. Base hit will score Reggie Smith and would cut the lead in half for the Dodgers. Russell 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from John Lester. That's a 6. Russell needs a 2, 3, 7, 8, 12. He gets a 9. This play will be for the shortstop Addison Russell, who is good as gold usually. 20-sided dice roll, nothing really there. That's a 6G1. As long as there's no error, and that's a 13 on the next roll, this inning is over, as this will be 6-3. Russell to Rizzo. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 4-1 Cubbies, as the back-to-back doubles by Garvey and Smith do produce a run for the Dodgers. Due up for the 2017 Cubs, the bottom third, Hayward, Russell, and Lester to face Don Sutton. Sutton, the past 2 innings, has given up 4 runs. He's looking for a clean slate. Here's the pitch to Hayward, who's 0 for 1. That's a 3. Hayward needs a 6, 7. He gets a 9. That will be a ground ball to Garvey. And he takes it to the bag himself. 1 down. Addison Russell, he's 1 for 1. He's been played stellar short. Yeager sets the target. Here's the pitch to Addison Russell. It's a 6. He needs a 5, 6, 8, 9. It's a 7. Ground ball to Davey Lopes. He needs a 1 or a 2, Russell does, for a hit. Other than that, it's gold for Lopes. And that's a 10 G1. Can Lopes avoid the error? It's an 8. He sure does. He backhands this ball, spins around, and throws to Garvey for the out. Now there's 2 outs. And the number 9 batter, the pitcher John Lester, steps to the plate. Lester's 0 for 1. Sutton deals quickly to Lester. It's a 4. Lester needs a 2, 5, 6, 12. He gets a 6. It's an 18. That's a deep fly ball to center. Davis running back at the track in the ivy. He leaps, he catches it, bangs into the wall. Does he hold on? He falls down, and he shows the ump the ball for out number 3. What a play by Davis. We go to the top of the 5th, 4-1 Cubbies. 2 up for the Dodgers, Yeager, Sutton, and Lopes. Yeager's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from John Lester. It's a 2. This is a good Yeager column. And a 7. It's an 8. And that's going to be a third double for the Dodgers. And that gets down and splits Schwarber and Jay. Goes to the ivy. And Yeager cruises into second. Dodgers have to get this going now. Sutton comes up. And he'll drop the bunt down. 86% chance he squares. Here's the pitch from Lester. He puts the bunt down. It's a beauty. Rizzo and Lester almost bump into each other. Rizzo quickly grabs it and throws to Zobrist covering on the wheel play for the out. Yeager advances to third with 1 out. Top of the order, Davey Lopes 1 for 2. He has a single. Lester takes a breath on the mound. He sets and deals to Lopes, and that's a 4. Lopes needs a 6, 8, 10. He gets a 4. This is a ground ball to Bryant, and the 20-sided dice roll, he needs a 4 or under. He doesn't get it. That's a 10 G2 and a 10. So Bryant will make the play. Will they send Yeager? Probably not. Bounding ball to Bryant. He throws to first, and Yeager was going on contact. Bryant, on the slow bounding ball, decided to go to Rizzo for the out, and the Dodgers cut the lead in half. Lopes be credited with an RBI. It's now 4-2. 2 outs, base is empty for Lee Lacy, who butchered a ball and left, allowing Schwarber to score in the bottom of the second. That was the first Dodger run. Schwarber then hit a 3-run homer off Sutton. He's knocked in 3 runs. The first one's unearned. Here's the pitch to Lee Lacy, 0 for 1 with a walk, and that's a 4. Lacy needs a 6, 8, 10. He gets a 7, and that will be a strikeout swinging side retired. The Dodgers do get 1. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-2 Cubbies. Due up for the 2017 Cubs, top of the order, Jay, Bryant, and Rizzo to face Don Sutton. Jay is 1 for 2. He has a single. Here's the pitch from Sutton. It's a 5 and a 5, and that will be strike 3 swinging, 1 down. Chris Bryant steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. He has a single. Bryant awaits the Sutton offering. Here comes the pitch. That's a 3. Great column for Bryant. And a 6. It's an 11, and that's a single pass the dive of Russell into left field. As it could have been a possible triple, but the split card was not the right one. So it was either going to be a triple or a single. Bryant gets the single. 1 out, 1 on for Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Rizzo looking to grip and rip. Yeager wiggles the fingers. Sutton nods his head. He rocks and fires. Anthony gets a 2. He needs a 5, 7, 11, 12. He gets a 4. Hard hit ball to Russell. Over to Lopes. On to Garvey. Double play, inning over. We go to the top of the 6th, 4-2 Cubbies. Due up for the 70-decade Dodger team, Garvey, Smith, and Say. Garvey's 1 for 2 with a double. He scored on the Smith double. And that was the first run the Dodgers scored. Lester deals to Garvey. It's a 1. Very good column for Steve Garvey. And a 10. And it's an 18. And that's a hard hit, deep fly ball to center. Jay on the run at the track. He reaches up and he makes the catch. And he bangs into the ivy wall, robbing Garvey of extra bases. 1 down. Dodgers have been able to hit the ball hard off Lester. Here's Reggie Smith. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a ribby. If Smith goes yard, the Dodgers would pull to within 1. Here's the Lester offering. It's a 5. Smith needs a 3, 4, 5, 7, 12. He gets an 8. Ground ball to Zobrist. He needs 4 or under. On the 20-sided dice roll, it is a 12. G2. Zobrist will handle it. The next one's a 15, and that will be out number 2. as Zobrist goes to Rizzo. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 6th, 4-2 Cubs. Ron Cey, the Penguin, is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch to the Penguin. It's a 4. He needs a 6, 8, 10. He gets a 7, and that will be strike 3 swinging, side retired. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Cubs have a 2-run lead, 4-2, in this one-and-done elimination tournament of 8 teams. Ben Zobrist steps to the plate. He'll be followed by Schwarber, who has been Don Sutton's kryptonite, and Contreras. Zobrist 0 for 2. Sutton's ready to work. Here's the pitch to Ben. It's a 5. He needs a 2. He gets an 8, and that will be a fly ball to Davis for out number 1 in center. 1 out, and that will bring up Kyle Schwarber, who is 2 for 2 with a home run. He's doubled homered, and he's knocked in 3 runs. He scored the first run, again, when Lacey butchered the ball in left. He came all the way around on the 2-base error. Here's the pitch to Kyle Schwarber. Can Sutton deal with his kryptonite? It's a 3. Schwarber needs a 4, 7, or 10. He gets a 7, and Schwarber walks. The kryptonite still works on Sutton. Schwarber's on with 1 out. And Wilson Contreras, the catcher, steps to the plate for the Cubs. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Can Sutton induce a double play ball? Here's the pitch to Contreras. It's a 5. He needs a 2, 4, 10, 11. He gets a 5, and that will be a strikeout looking. So 2 down. Schwarber will be off on contact at first. Coming to the plate is the right fielder, Jason Hayward. He is 0 for 2. Sutton takes a deep breath, peeks over to first. Garvey holding Schwarber on. Here's the pitch to Hayward. That's a 5. Not good for Hayward. The only thing, he needs a 2, or a 10 or 11. He gets a 7. That'll be a ground ball. Russell backhands it at short, flips the Lopes for the force outside, retired. We go to the top of the 7th. The Cubs have a 4-2 lead. Lester on the mound. 94 pitches, good for 103. Cubs have some bullpen action up, as Lester has been hit hard, but he still has a 2-run lead. Due up for the Dodgers, Davis, Russell, and Yeager. Willie Davis, the center fielder, 0 for 2. Lester deals to Davis. That's a 3. He needs a 4-5 here. He gets a 7. It's a hard line drive that Zobrist snares at second for out number 1. Good cat-like quickness by Ben Zobrist. That'll bring up Dodgers shortstop Bill Russell. He's 0 for 2. The right-handed batter waits for the left-hander Lester to deliver. He does. It's a 2. Russell needs a 2 or a 4. He gets a 9. That's a sky-high pop-up to Anthony Rizzo in foul territory for out number 2. So 2 outs, base is empty. Here comes the catcher, Steve Yeager. He's 1 for 2 with a double. On deck is Don Sutton, but his day will be done if his 9th place comes up to bat. Lester picks up the sign from Contreras. Here's the pitch to Yeager. It's a 3. Yeager needs a 4 or an 11. He gets a 10. Yeager smashes the ball. Rizzo makes a diving catch at the line, robbing Yeager of extra bases. And that is the end of the top of the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. You can take me out to the ball game. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever go back, for it's root for the home team. If we lose, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And that's for Chris from Strat-O-Matic, Delaware, Clinton Parks, and Bleacher Bums Gaming with Anthony. The trivia question: name the leading home run hitter of the 1920 decade with 467 home runs. Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth. Pretty easy. Another Babe Ruth trivia question. All right. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Sutton is on the hill still. Probably his final inning as he leads off the top of the 8th. He'll face Russell, Lester, and Jay. Addison Russell's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch to Addison. It's a 4. Addison needs a 2, 5, 6, 12. He gets a 12. He works a walk. So with a 4-2 lead, the leadoff runners on for the Cubs. Here's Lester. He'll probably bunt. He's 0 for 2. And they call him back. That's it for Lester. His day is done. And the pinch hitter is Ian Happ. So let's give you Lester's numbers real quick. Lester, in line for the win, went 7 innings. 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. Walked 1, struck out 5. Sutton, so far, has gone 6 innings. 7 hits, 4 runs. I don't know how that one can be earned. There should be 1 unearned run. I believe that's incorrect, as Schwarber scored on an error by Lacey. So that can't be an earned run. That's wrong by Strat-O-Matic. There's no way. He doubled, and there was a 2-base error. So how is that an earned run? It's not. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. He's in line for the loss. So Russell's at first. Ian Happ is the pinch hitter. And Happ in 2017 batted .253 for the Dodgers with 24 home runs and 68 ribbies. Wow, nice guy to pinch hit. He could blow this game open. Dodgers hoping for 2. Here's the pitch to Happ, looking for the 3-6 column. It's a 4. He needs a 2, 5, 6, 12. No walk in the park for Sutton with this column. And it's a 6. And it's a 1. And guess what Ian Happ just did? He just has a pinch hit homer to right center field. And that ball is drilled out of the ballpark. And Happ might have just punched the ticket for the Cubbies to round 2. Wow. It's now 6-2. I had a feeling. I was like, when I saw his home runs, I was like, holy cow. And Sutton's day is done. Actually, we'll see if he can get through this inning. Top of the order, John Jay, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch to Jay. It's a 1 and a 9, and that's a strikeout, swinging 1 down. And Chris Bryant's 2 for 3 with a run scored, and now Sutton's day's done. So Bryant's a righty, then we have a lefty, then a switch hitter. Bryant is a righty. Oh, wrong team. Vance, 383. It's tougher on right-handed pitching with that 383. Brewer's a lefty. Bryant's even. Brewer, 307. He's the closer. Average 10 saves. Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer. 370. If he hangs one, Bryant could jack one out of the park. Well, Rizzo's a lefty. You know what? The matchup's favored. We're going to go to our closer now. No sense. There's the one and done tournament. So Brewer will come in for Sutton. Sutton day is done. We'll give you his final numbers, and they were not good, folks. Sutton was tagged for 2 home runs. He went 6 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, walked 3, struck out 5, gave up homers to Schwarber and the pinch hitter Ian Happ, as we just witnessed, and he is in line for the loss. And on the mound, Jim Brewer for the Dodgers, 5-5, and he averaged 10 saves in 162 games. If you take his whole career in 162 games, striking out 64. 1 out, no one on. Here's the pitch to Chris Bryant, who's 2 for 3 with a run scored. And Bryant wants that 3-4 column. It's a 5. He needs a 2 or a 9. He gets a 5. That's a ground ball to Bill Russell. And anything 4 or under will make Chris Bryant a happy camper, but he gets a 9. That's a G3. The second roll is a 15. So this will go Russell to Garvey for out number 2. So 2 outs, base is empty for Anthony Rizzo. He's 1 for 3. lefty-lefty matchup for Brewer. He has a run scored. Rizzo does. Here's the pitch to Anthony. It's a 2. Anthony needs a 7 or a 10. He gets a 10, and it's a 5, and that's a single up the middle. So Anthony goes 2 for 4. Anything higher than a 9 would have been a lineout, but Rizzo gets the 5. So a 6-2 ball game. Rizzo's at first, 2 outs. Ben Zobrist 0 for 3. Switch hitter will now bat from the right side as he'll face the lefty Brewer. Here's the pitch from Brewer. It's a 1. And if Zobrist gets anything 7 and under, it's very good. And he gets a 6, and he works a walk. Dodger pitching. Matt Doyle gets J.O.B. So with 2 outs, there's 2 on. Rizzo at second, Zobrist at first. And here comes the kryptonite to the Dodgers. Ken Schwarber, 2 for 2. A double, a home run, and 3 ribbies. Here's the pitch to Schwarber. Lefty-lefty matchup. That's a 2. Schwarber could do it again. It's a 7, and he walks. He has been on base every time. Bases are now loaded. Cubs with a 4-run lead, looking to break it open. Here comes the catcher, Wilson Contreras, 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch to Contreras. It's a 4. This ball game will be over, folks. And a 6. And a 16. Line shot. Say, makes the diving catch, and the side is retired. And the Dodgers still have hope, as that was slated to go down the line. That could have cleared the bases. And Brewer's a happy camper, and he's done because he's leading off the inning. For the top of the 8th, we're going to go to a pinch hitter. So Brewer actually does his job, thanks to the Penguin, Ron Say. And coming up to face the new pitcher, Mike Montgomery, who is a righty, who's a lefty, excuse me. Will be Manny. Oh, that's lefty. No, but he is a lefty. Mike Montgomery. Let me just close this for a second. Give you Mike Montgomery's numbers. Mike Montgomery in 2017, 7 and 8 with 3 saves, 3.38 earned run average, striking out 100. He is a lefty thrower. Dodgers will send up a pinch hitter for Brewer, and it will be Manny Mota. Manny Mota, pinch hitter extraordinaire. In his 162 game average for his career, 304, 3 home runs, 31 RBIs. Dodgers are down 4. They need to get base runners. Here's the pitch to Manny Mota. He's looking for the 3-6 column. He gets a 1. He needs a 4, 5, 6, 11. And he gets a 5. And that's a 1. And Mota will send that ball deep to center field. Jay on his horse reaching up. He leaps. He tries to make the catch. He does not get it. Bangs off the wall. It rolls around. Mota's around second and goes to third. A leadoff triple for the pinch hitter Manny Mota. The Dodgers are in business. And Davey Lopes steps to the plate. That's a fine how do you do for Mike Montgomery. Lopes is 1 for 3 with a ribby. Montgomery deals to Lopes, looking to knock in another run. It's a 3. Lopes needs a 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets a 7, and that's a walk. So runners on the corners with no outs. And stepping to the plate, Lee Lacy. And boy, Lee Lacy can make amends for that horrible error in left way back in the bottom of the second. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Dodgers trail by 4, 6-2, tied run on deck. Steve Garvey, here's the pitch to Lacy. He gets a 2. Oh boy, Lacy's got to do it. This is his column, and he gets a 2. And ground ball to second. Zobrist over to Russell, back to Rizzo. The run scores. Batter is injured on the play. Dodgers fans wish he was injured before the play. Bases are clear. The Dodgers get 1. It's 6-3, but Cubs will take that result. They get the 2 outs and give up the run. And here comes Steve Garvey. And they got to start the threat all over again now. Garvey 1 for 3 with a double. Montgomery picks up the sign from Contreras. Here's the pitch to Garvey. It's a 6. Garvey needs a 5, 8, 9, 11. He gets a 5, so he works a walk. How big was that double play ball by Lee Lacy, who was injured? And Word from the dugout is he's done for the day. So the Dodgers are down 3. Tying run in the on-deck circle, Ron Cey stepping to the plate is Reggie Smith. He's 1 for 3 with a double. Smith looking to grip and rip. Montgomery takes a peek at first. Rizzo holding Garvey on. Here's the pitch to Reggie. And it's a 6. He needs a 5, 8, 9, 11. He gets an 8. And it's a 1. And Reggie Smith smashes that ball down the left field line. That's going to be his second double. 1 through 15. Garvey will score. That's a 75% chance, but we're going to hold all runners, so it'll be second and third. We don't want to run into the third out at the plate. And Ron Cey will come to the plate now. The Penguin has a chance to tie it up, folks. And you know how the ball flies out at Wrigley. Cey, 25 home runs for 162 game average for his career. He's 0 for 3. And he needs columns 2 or 3 here. Cubs are going to stick with Montgomery, it looks like. Here's the pitch to the Penguin. It's a 6. He needs a 5, 8, 9, 11. It's an 8. It's a 2. And that ball's hit to center field. Jay's not going to get to that, as that's going to bang off the wall. 2 runs are going to score on the 2-out double by Ron Cey. And the Dodgers have pulled to within 1. We've got a ball game, folks. It's now 6-5. So with 2 outs, Ron Cey, the Penguin, delivers, and he represents a tying run at second. Willie Davis steps to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Montgomery deals to Davis. It's a 4. He needs a 7, 9. He gets a 2. This isn't bad either. It could be a single. It's an 8. And caught. Diving catch by Zobrist. He saves the day. The Dodgers pulled it within 1. They could have tied it, but Zobrist makes the diving catch and saves the day for the Cubbies. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-5, and we have to replace Lee Lacy in left, who was injured on his double play ball. So we need a new left fielder. Willie Crawford, 268. Ferguson's a catcher. Tom Paciorek, 282. Can he play left? Yes, he can. Righty. Montgomery's a righty. Bobby Valentine, 260. I'm going to go with Montgomery. Montgomery's not their closer. We're going to go with Tom Paciorek. Tom Paciorek. And he's going to play left field for the injured Lee Lacy. Oh, we need a pitcher too. My faux pas. And now, since there's no tomorrow, we're going to go with Andy Messersmith. Will come in to pitch. All right. So Paciorek is in left, and he is a 282 batting average, 0 arm, 5 homers, 28 ribbies in his 162 career average. And Andy Messersmith comes in out of the pen to do the pitching at 12-10 with a save, 156 strikeouts. Again, that's an average of his career total over 162 games. He will face Hayward, Russell, and Montgomery, so probably a pinch hitter for the pitcher. The Dodgers scored 3 in the top of the 8th, and if it wasn't for the Zobrist catch on the line drive, the diving catch, the ball game would have been tied as Say would have scored from second. So Hayward is 0 for 3. Messersmith is Cubs ready to work. Dodgers guarding the lines. Here's the pitch to Hayward. That's a 5 and a 5, and that will be a strikeout looking. 1 down. Addison Russell steps to the plate. Cubs shortstop 1 for 2 with a run scored. Here's the pitch to Russell. That's a 1. He needs a 4 or an 11. He gets an 11. He's hit by pitch as that pitch came riding in and caught his shirt. So Russell's at first. Here's Mike Montgomery. And Montgomery will be called back for Javier Baez. Baez, the pinch hitter, as Cubs fans want to hit. In 2017, 273, 23 homers, 75 RBIs. This could be another ouch moment for the Dodgers. Messersmith deals to Baez, looking for the 1-4 column. It's a 3. Can he get a double play ball? It's a 6. Strike 3 looking. So Messersmith has a strikeout, hit by pitch, and another strikeout. 2 outs. Russell will be off on contact. Garvey holding him out. Top of the order, John Jay's 1 for 4. Here's the pitch to Jay. It's a 5 and a 5, and guess what? Strike 3 looking. Messersmith strikes out the side. He does hit 1, but it means nothing. We go to the top of the 9th. Dodgers trail by 1, and the Cubs have brought in Pedro Strop to close out the game. This has been the best game of the tournament so far. Strop in 2017, 5 wins, 4 losses, and he has no saves, so maybe Montgomery was their closer. Curious now. Again, I did not set the 25-man roster. The computer did. I did take a quick look, and I thought the Cubs had all their proper players. Okay. So Strop's going to try to save it. The Cubs are 3 outs away from advancing to round 2. This is the final game of the first round, game 4 in this 8-team one-and-done tournament. And Strop is only good for 1 pitch, so what do they do? I guess they're going to go matchups here, which still doesn't make sense. He's a righty, and so it's Russell, Yeager, and a pinch hitter. Here's the pitch to Russell. Bill Russell's 0 for 3, needs a 1-5. It's a 6. He needs a 2 or a 6. It's an 8, and that will be a ground ball to Bryant at 30. Backhands and throws to Rizzo, 1 down. Cubs 2 outs away from advancing. Here's Steve Yeager. He's 1 for 3. He has a double. Yeager 228. We might go to a pinch hitter here. Bobby Valentine 260. Crawford 268. But Strop's tougher on lefties. Ferguson, the other catcher, 240. You know, Bobby Valentine's going to pinch hit for Steve Yeager. And if we tie it or go ahead, Ferguson will come in to catch. So here's Bobby Valentine. And Bobby is career average for 162 games. 260, as I stated, 1 home run, 16 RBIs. And he averaged 168 at-bats if you take his whole career and do it through 162 games. Valentine looking for the 3-5 column. Strop gets a sign from Contreras. Here's the pitch to Bobby. He gets a 3. This is good for Valentine. And a 4. And Valentine will get the pinch hit single to center. He's the tying run at first base. So Bobby Valentine singles. Andy Messersmith, who struck out the side in the bottom of the 8th, will not bat. Will go to another pinch hitter. And for Bowiskitz, whatever his name is, 236. Sadakis, switch hitter, 234. Ferguson, the catcher, 240. Crawford, 268. He's a lefty, and Strom's tough. You know, we got to go to Crawford, though. We got to go with that 268. So Crawford will pinch hit for Messersmith. What a game we have. It's going down to the wire here. So Willie Crawford comes up to pinch hit, 1 out. Bobby Valentine represents the tying run at first. Crawford, the go-ahead run at the plate. He has a little pop in his bat, 10 home runs. So his 162 career average, 268, 10 homers, and 44 ribbies. So column is the 1 and 5. Rizzo holding Valentine on. Here's the pitch to Crawford. And that's it. Madden will take Strop out. He's going to Carl Edwards Jr., who's really tough on lefties. So Madden counters. Edwards Jr., 5 and 4, no saves, 298 earned run average in 66 innings pitched. And I don't think I can I double count? I don't think they'll let you bring in another pinch hitter. Because now we're going to go to Ferguson. I don't think it's going to let me, though. It does. So Ferguson will pinch hit. We counter their counter. So here's Ferguson, Joe Ferguson. So we wasted a player, but there's no tomorrow. We had to do that. Ferguson, in his 162 game average, we'll call it, over his career, 240, 12 homers, and 40 ribbies. Can Ferguson go yard? We shall see. Here's the pitch from Edwards Jr. Ferguson looking for the 1-6 column. He gets the 6. He needs a 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. He gets a 6. And that's a... Oh, he checked his swing, but he went around. Strike 3. There's 2 outs now. The Cubs 1 out away here in the top of the 9th. They have the lead 6-5, top of the order. Davey Lopes. So Edwards Jr. has to get through Davey Lopes. He's 1 for 3 with a ribby. Valentine, 70% chance of stealing second, but we're not sending him. Imagine you getting thrown out for the final out at second. Lopes, 14 homers. 14 homers. There's pop in that second baseman's bat. Here's the pitch to Davey Lopes looking for the 2-6. He gets a 3. He needs a 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets a 6. And he walks. Valentine moves to second. So the tying run is in scoring position. The go-ahead run is at first. And here comes Tom Paciorek. Big moment for Paciorek, who I think also played for the Royals in the 70s. I could be wrong. Paciorek, or Paciorek, Tom Paciorek, I believe. His 162 game average for his career, 282. 5 homers, 28 ribbies. 2 outs, 2 on. Cubs 1 out away from advancing to the second round of this one and done tournament in our marathon here. The Dodgers 1 out away from being eliminated. Edwards deals to Paciorek looking for the 2-6 column. He gets a 5. He needs a 2. This ball game looks to be all but over. It's a 10. This ball hit to Russell at shortstop, who's good as gold. As you can see, 1 through 20, there's nothing there. The only hope is an error or a range play that he can't get to. 9G1, no range play, and an 8. This ball game's over, folks. Russell comes up with it. He'll throw to Rizzo, and the Cubs will defeat the Dodgers 6-5. They move on to the second round as a tying run. Bobby Valentine will pinch hit and advance to second on the walk, is stranded at second. The go-ahead run at first, Lopes, but it's all for naught. This ball game is over, so we've completed round 1 of this 8-team one-and-done tournament. We're going to come back and go right into round 2. I'm not tired yet, as the marathon will continue. Let's get the box score. That was a thriller. So the 2017 Cubs defeat the 1970 Dodger Decade team. Again, it was fan-created, so you might think there should be different Dodgers on the team, but a fan created this in the Strat-O-Matic forum, and you can download it. Let's go to the box score. So John Lester gets the win. He went 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. Walked 1, struck out 5. Montgomery followed that up with an inning. And in that inning, he was awful. 3 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He walked 2. Strop and Edwards combined for 3 outs in the top of the ninth. Strop getting the first batter, and Edwards getting the next 2. He did walk 1, but then he struck out the last batter. Ball game over. Oh no, the last batter grounded out, to short. For the Dodgers, Don Sutton took the loss, 6 1/3 innings. Again, not good pitching for the 70s decade teams. 8 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. Walked 3, struck out 5, gave up 2 home runs. 1 to Schreiber. Where is it? How do you pronounce that gentleman's name? Home runs. Kyle Schwarber and the pinch hitter, Ian. What a huge pinch hit home run by Happ. Difference in the ball game. It was a 2-run blast. It built up that big lead that the Cubs held on to barely by 1 run. Player of the game, I'm going to give it to Happ for the pinch hit 2-run homer, and Kyle Schwarber, co-players of the game. They both hit homers. How big is a Lee Lacy 2-base error in left that helped Schwarber score in the first on a double? He hit the double, then came around all the way. What we would call a little league inside the park home run with the error. Alrighty, so the Dodgers are out, the 70s decade Dodgers, and the 2017 Cubbies move forward to round 2. We have 3 more games to play in this tournament, and hopefully we complete them all. For the Dodgers, Lopes was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Lacy 0 for 3 and a crucial 2-base error in left. Tom Paciorek was 0 for 1. Came into play for the injured Lee Lacy. Garvey was 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Reggie Smith 2 for 4 with a run scored, and Uribe had 2 doubles. Ron Cey had that huge double that brought the Cubbies to within 1. And if it wasn't for the diving catch by Zobrist off Davis's bat, the ball game would have been tied in the top of the 8th. And he had 2 ribbies. Davis 0 for 4, robbed by Zobrist at the end. Russell 0 for 4. Steve Yeager 1 for 3 with a run scored. Bobby Valentine pinch hit for Yeager. He singled and was stranded at second. He was the tying run in the top of the 9th. Sutton was 0 for 1. Brewer pitched, did not hit. Manny Moda, also had a pinch hit, and he scored. Messersmith's pitch did not hit. Crawford walked. He was a pinch hitter, and Ferguson grounded out to short to end the ball game. And Dodgers hopes. Dodgers 33 at bats, 5 runs, 8 hits, 4 RBIs. I don't think all 4 runs should have been earned. There should not be 5 earned runs for the Cubs, because there's a 2-base error. That's a mistake. I don't know how that's an earned run. Anyway, it doesn't matter. For the Dodgers, I'm sorry, I keep saying the Dodgers. They're on the other side. For the Cubs, Jay was 1 for 5. Almora came in to play defense in center. I missed that, so he played defense in the top of the 9th. Chris Bryant was 2 for 4 with a run scored. Rizzo 2 for 4 with a run scored. Zobrist 0 for 3, but he made that diving catch that saved the day, and the game would have been tied in the top of the 8th. That ended the inning. Schwarber was the Dodgers' kryptonite. He was 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. He homered and he walked twice. Contreras, the catcher, 0 for 3. Hayward, 0 for 4. Russell 1 for 2 with a run scored. Lester, 0 for 2, the pitcher. Ian Happ, the pinch hit, 2-run homer. Big difference. Again, Happ and Schwarber, players of the game. Co-players of the game. Montgomery pitched, did not hit. He was awful. Baez, the pinch hitter, 0 for 1. Strump and Edwards pinched. They closed out the 9th, getting the last 3 outs. Neither of them hit. So the Cubs in victory, 31 at-bats, 6 runs, 9 hits, 5 RBIs. This is Al Red Sox. Jerry Ball has joined us late, and thank you very much. He says, hello, Al. Caught the last innings. Great marathon. Thanks. Take care. Roll on. I'm going to keep going, my friend. Thank you very much, Jerry Ball. Good friend of the channel. Good to see you. It's been a while, as I have been off due to family matters. So we're going to move on to round 2. We have 3 more games to play in this tournament, and we will crown a champion. Sal Red Sox fans saying thank you to Jerry Ball, and thank you to anyone who watched and will watch later. Remember, health and happiness. Till next time, which will be soon. I'll be right back before. It takes me about 7 to 11 minutes to set up the next stream. Health and happiness. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Don't swing at the curveball in the dirt. And remember, peace!